I'm good there, guys. I hope you're all okay. We're gonna be talking about market phases, which is the second topic on under technicals and stuff, right? Yeah, like it's pretty much simple, but I know how you decide to use it, guys. We can all know these concepts, but then if you know how to use them like effectively, that's the only time you're gonna benefit or make most out of what you know, right? So market phases is basically like we know the market has two market phases, right? It's when price is moving impulsively or it's moving correctively, right? So in that way, we make use of it um with the concept that we're using, right? Okay, this is not supposed to be okay. Let me just check something clearer. I had these buys on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. Today it's a Saturday. I had these were really not buys, right? Pretty much simple, like it's basic, right? Price breaking to this order flow, pulling back, and then I just catching the continuation of the order flow, like following order flow, making a trend your friend, right? Let me maybe Nasdaq. It could be on any time frames, by the way. I don't know how you decide to kind of equalize on opportunities or whatever concepts that we're using. Right. Okay, cool. All right, let's just use this as an example, which is not a clear example. Basically, the two phases, it's the impulse move and a corrective. We know after an impulse, we're expecting a correction, like the market to correct or to move sideways or whatever you decides to call it, right? Mainly because of the reason you have to know the market phases is because it helps you anticipate when is the next impulse move. You understand that next momentum, right? And it also helps you to study the behavior of the market, right? I'll just use this. Let's say overall, which was like bullish at that time. Let's say overall you're looking for buys, right? Let's say overall you're looking for buys, right? What did the market do here? It gives you an impulse move. As you can see, from this leg to this leg, impulse, right? And then correction. Not pretty much of a clear example, correction. The market became corrective, right? As you can see. After that, what is this? Impulse, right? You can see like impulse correction, impulse, 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 impulse. But then that's the kind of example that I'm trying to make like out of what I'm teaching you right now, right? So now you may wonder, okay, but like what's the use of me understanding these phases? Like how can I use them to my advantage? I do know these things and I've known them ever since I started trading. But like what is the need of us knowing? Like I said, you should know when to expect them, the next momentum, right? And also I use them on identify high probability setups. Right, let's go back to the set. Let's go back to, I think I've mentioned this, like, but now I'm specifically like it has a dedicated video for it, right? So let's make an example, right? You having a low here, right? Ah, come on. You having a low here, right? A high, price breaking, right? So obviously everybody would be expecting something like, let's say it's happened on M15, right? As you can see, the market went up, printed a low. I was able to break this. We obviously, like everybody knows that, okay, you're expecting something like this, like this, like this, right? Everybody knows that, right? But then if you take the market phases, right? Let's say here the market was corrective, right? That's what will always happen most of the time, especially if it's a high probability setup, right? You'll have the market, right, moving what correctively, right? Impulse, impulse. Obviously expecting what? A corrective wave to here. So basically, only with the market phases, you know that, okay, I moved impulsively here. I'm expecting a correction. Correction to what? To pull to that specific level of yours. Whether you call it an order block, whether you call it a supply, area of interest, right? So if the market start pulling back like this, after this impulse move, you know that, hey, you're having a high probability setup here. You understand? Because why? It also aligns with the market faces. The market face, you can see that, okay, cool. You understand? When we sell, we're selling with an impulse. When we pull back with the corrective, meaning that buyers are actually struggling to get in. And vice versa with the buys, right? You'd be having something like this, right? There's something like this, for an example, something like this, right? So you know for sure that, okay, cool. From here to here, I had a corrective wave or phase, right, where the market decided to. After that, we saw an impulse move, like also breaking the next structures, right? The structure is number one, obviously, and it's our major thing. Break of structure, price is expected to pull back, right? And then the next thing, if price retraces with it, you understand? Not to say if price goes like push impulsively and then come back with an impulse, it won't move, but then it's a high probability, it's high probable for price to hold if it retraces with an impulse. Understand? Like, yeah, it's there. It's just that before I started the video, like I should have actually tried making a few examples with what I'm saying right now. I So that I can show you what I'm talking about. That I just want pretty much something of a simple example, like very simple. We could use this, but the price never really pulled back. This is just Nasdaq, Nasdaq, how Nasdaq can be. But then as they happen, I'll give you more live example, especially if we now like breaking the market. We have been pre-sessions, Zoom or meetings, which is pretty much good. So like guys, this is just it. I don't think there's anything that's more than that. Like that's more than what we're having right now. Like I don't think it should really be a struggle for us to be able to navigate through price, right? What's up? Is my internet slow or what's going on? Let's check this. Okay, let's just study this wave here, right? This way, which has been simple. Everybody was able to equalize on this, right? Look at this. All right, this is GBPSD, my baby. All right, what are you having here? All right, impulse, impulse. You see, the market broke structure here, moved with an impulse to the upside. When it retraces it, what? Moved. What? Broke structure where? Broke structure here. So meaning that like how the market move, the market like the faces of the market, it actually help us to, it's a confluence to the sentiment that we look. Obviously know that, okay, cool, and this low is protected, right? This high is weak. And after a break of structure, obviously expecting price to retrace, but then how it retraces, it's even more important, right? Guys, like, look at this. How simple is this? Understand? Even having a younger version of this, market moves to the upside, break structure here. What? Another correction. Another correction. I moved correctively from here to here, here to here. Come on now. Come on, guys. Come on. Right. But like right now, I'm looking at the overall thing. Right. After a break of structure, what are you having next? You're having an impulse move to the upside. Impulse move. Right. While I also having, you're also having a new break of structure. So you're also having a what? A new break of structure, which is where? It's here. Obviously, according to theory, after every break, the market must retrace. But then how it retraces is now important. Like these are the small things that actually count. This is how we use it to our advantage. And you'd be having whatever level that you're having. But then right now, the video is about what? Market faces. What are we having here? We're having this. All right, we having this. Look at this. All right, after that, we had a young impulse to the upside. But then this one was pretty much internal because it has not yet broken the next structures. We had this young impulse and then a corrective manner. It was probably because of this break and a young corrective manner to the upside, right? And then we have this as our impulse move, break F15, break of structure. I price retracing into this. How it retraces, it's important, right? How it retraces, it's important. This, like, I'm showing something that's happening, right? This is what you're having. Look at this, like, guys, with only this concept, you can see, like, guys, come on. So this is it's just this simple, right? And you knowing which phase are you in the market is very important because you know that, okay, cool. If I'm catching a counter trend, I'm most likely to be in a what? In a corrective, on an uptrend, by the way. You know that if like you're selling on an uptrend, like on an over, like let's say the overall trend is an uptrend, you're selling, you most likely, if that trade is gonna play out, it's just gonna not go down impulsively, just gonna be playing around until it reaches target. Like here, let's say you had a power to identify this trade here, right? When you sell to whatever level here, this is what you should expect because you know that, okay, I'm most likely to be in a phase, like in a corrective phase. You understand? So if you buy here, you know that price is most likely to move to the impulse, like impulsively. You understand? And this is how simple it is, guys. You understand? So this is one of the strongest confluence because the market does two things, like you've learned, or you have learned it through YouTube. After a corrective phase, it's impulse. After impulsive phase, corrective. Like those are the two things that happen. But then how you identify them, how you use them to advantage is what is important. There's nothing as important as that. So guys, that's it for the like the market. I don't think it's hard, but then there'll be more live examples like on pre-session Zooms, obviously, and you understand. And that's it. We'll identify it more. We'll talk about it more. Right. So yeah.